we're back with Dailies today, second part right here on 99.3 Nigerian FM. Kofi Bartels, good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. It's a brand new week, and of course, today being the 19th of January 2026, time is flying. And how far have you gone with your plans for the year 2026? Your goals, your targets, how far have you gone with those? Anyway, please keep trying, keep pushing, keep believing, that the best will come for you in the year. We started to look at our paper headlines after the news at 6. We took some of your thoughts, and we'll continue to take your thoughts all the way from now till 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock. But we have guest Dr. Majeed Dahiru joining us to provide analysis. If you'd like to contribute, as he provides his analysis, please call 0201 277 0993, 0201 277 0993, and you can also call 0201 465 7190, 0201 465 7190. Okay, that's another number to call. And of course, my WhatsApp number 08095 975805, 08095 975805. Okay, front page of today's Vanguard has the following headlines. Rivers crisis. Rivers State is always in the news. always in the news. Rivers crisis. I'm still Governor Fubara. Regrets current political crisis in state. You must protect Fubara. INC tells APC. That should be Joint National Congress, if I'm not mistaken. INC tells APC. Lawyers threaten lawsuit against Rivers CJ. All right, I think there's been an injunction from the Rivers State High Court sitting in Oyigbo. Okay. ADC to FG, come clean on us. Come clean on Nigeria-US Health Pact. Come clean on Nigeria-US Health Pact. ADC to federal government. Come clean on Nigeria-US Health Pact. Okay. And of course, murder of 3 officers, NDLEA nabs drug lord after 12-year manhunt. Murder of 3 officers, NDLEA nabs drug lord after 12-year manhunt. Alleged forgery case in UK property, or alleged forgery in UK property case. FG files criminal charges against Ozekome. First Bank's growth driven by resilience, discipline, Lebiosu, ARCO Group commends and Reta Oku on global recognition. Okay. 52 suspects arrested in Ekboma for looting, vandalism, IGP. All right, still reverberations following that protest against insecurity in Edo State. Financial Vanguard, 62.5% rise in electricity sector debt. Threatens federal government's 1.2 trillion naira bond. We saw this story last week. It is still there. Federal government bans mining within 10-kilometer radius of bridges nationwide. And of course, a regional columnist there. Dr. Majeed Dahiru, good morning to you. It's a brand new week. It's a pleasure to have you join us today.
Good morning, my dear brother Kofi.
All right.
So is this better now?
Yes, it is better. Fantastic. All right. So there's a picture of Mr. President returning to the country on the front page of today's Vanguard, with all some ministers and aides to the president, like National Security Advisor, all there waiting, lining up to welcome him, including the chief of staff at the presidency. Dr. Dahiru, let's start with this picture. We'll take your thoughts on this picture here. And of course, I'm sure you've seen the videos. It says Nuhu Ribadu, National Security Advisor, Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, and Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, welcoming President Bola Tinubu back to the country after his participation in the 2026 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week. All right. So, sir, comment on this picture. That's where it's starting from.
I want to say now, I mean, you have your governors there, you have your financial aid there, you have your chief of staff. So
yeah, I mean, the president
anyway,
has been away for
sure,
20 days, some
you
Nigerians.
know, such a hardworking president. So he needed to welcome back, One thing you have to understand is, even though Nigeria's presidency is an executive one, an elected one, directly elected by the people, there is imperial air of majesty around what should have been a servant leader kind of democratic office. And our leaders do not seem to pay attention to some of these little details. I thought that 26 years later, this year will be, by May 29, this will be 27 years as a democracy. One would have thought that some of the conventions and maybe traditions we carried over from the colonial masters down to the First Republic leaders, military leaders, and the early leaders of the Fourth Republic would by now have been, would have evolved out of such conventions in order to portray the presidency or the president as a servant leader of the people without this air, this aura of an imperial majesty around our president. So I'm sure many young Nigerians will be wondering, what exactly is the logic behind anytime the president is traveling out, some officials will throng the airport and wave at him onto this plane, disappearing into the sky, and when he's arriving, the same ceremony takes place. So all this ceremony around an executive president are things we see for monarchs in other climes. So for instance, if you have such a thing for King Charles of England, or King Salman of Saudi Arabia, or some other monarchs around the world. But for executive president, you can't see this kind of ceremony around the Prime Minister of the UK, who is the elected leader of the country, who functions as a servant leader. You can't see such an air around.
Yeah.
Not even the almighty US president, for instance. Do you see this level of, anybody who has no business around the security of the president, you're not seen around there. And you see the way he hurries up the aircraft and hurries down, tells you that this is a working president. So, for the case of Nigeria, we have normalized this abnormality, really. And it creates an air, it makes the presidency look clownish. A little bit of
Doctor, I'm wondering why a governor of a state in the federal elected on his own merit, should go line up, leave his state activities, go line up to welcome the president, like a boy.
That makes it even more, a little bit absurd. You see, our governors must understand that we have a federation to run. It's not enough to continuously complain about the Constitution without looking at the operation of the Constitution. So otherwise, why will a governor leave his own state, have the time to come to Abuja, and even have more time to go to the airport to be the welcoming party of the president or the Federal Republic of Nigeria when he's busy in his own state? If he will come back to his own state by his own, retinue of, officials. So there's something wrong with this. Most of our governors actually reside in the Federal Capital Territory. They're always around the presidency. They're always around the president. You see them traveling with the president. You see them in state functions. You begin to wonder whether we are really serious about our federation. And that's why I've always said it. That rather than continue with this kind of federal system, don't you think we should collapse the entire federation into a unitary system? Let's also run it to Abuja. Because our governors have shown some certain levels of irresponsibility and the incapacity to run the federative unity in line with the intent of the Constitution. The Constitution did not intend for a governor to leave his state and come to Abuja to welcome the president from a vacation overseas. He did not intend that at all. He was supposed to be sitting in the state and working himself out to make sure he provides welfare and security for his own citizens and residents of his state.
Okay, Dr. Dahiru, let's go to over to Edo State, where Vanguard reports 52 suspects have been arrested in Ekpoma for looting vandalism, as according to the Inspector General of Police, no less a person. And of course, we all know what's been happening with a recent insecurity protests holding in that part of Edo State?
Well, I do not support violent protests, and I also believe that nobody should be spared of the full wrath of the law when they get engaged in a arsonist kind of protest that loots other people's properties and destroy other people's properties. However, the optics for me here is a little bit not right. And why do I say so? Before the protest was maybe hijacked by arsonists, there was a genuine movement, there was a genuine protest to draw attention to the growing insecurity around that part of the country. Now, I would have wanted a situation where the government would have been seen more visible in going after those that are making life unbearable for citizens of our country within that location. That should have been more visible in the media. They're actually going after those who protested and who in the process decided to help themselves with one or two things of other people's properties. Like I said, while it is very important for people to be prosecuted for stealing and looting of people's properties, that's not something that anybody should defend under whatever guise. But I'm saying that this shouldn't have been the only visible thing in the media concerning the subject matter of insecurity in Edo State. We should have been seeing effort by now in response to this protest by both the Edo State government and the federal authorities. And they should be showing us in the media. This morning should be reviewing the effort that has been made by the Edo State government in coordination with the federal authorities to bring the perpetrators of the insecurity in the first place, which led to this protest, to justice. We have been seeing arrests being made of perpetrators, or the numbers of them that have been neutralized in gun battles want to be seen. That's what should be dominating the media. Because the impression we're having now is that the government has left those that are terrorizing our citizens in Edo State and would rather go after protesters who are rather draw attention to the insecurity in their state. That does not sit well with a lot of Nigerians, and it conveys the wrong message. It makes government look like it is oppressing the weak, that it cannot protect from the strong terrorists that appear to be overwhelming the state.
All right. Interesting. I want us to still stay with security matters. This time we go to Oyo State, which has been in the news, of course. Recently, you had some forest guards being killed there. This time, Vanguard reports gunmen killed a police officer and abducted a Chinese expatriate in Oyo State. Also, in neighboring Ondo State, an APC chieftain was kidnapped. We overtaken have arrested 32 suspected kidnappers. So this is the story here. It says in Ibadan, gunmen have killed a police officer and abducted a Chinese expatriate during an attack on Aqua Triton Company in Ogunmaki. Only God knows what Aqua Triton do. Are they involved in mining or some other thing? Because I will give the story, I'm sure, another slant. It says Oyo State Police Command confirmed the incident on Saturday, describing it as a coordinated commando-style operation. Sir, this is what the police are saying in Oyo State. It's a coordinated commando-style operation. I would like you to tell us how that makes you feel. But the police public relations officer, DSP Ayolade Olayenka, said the assailant stormed the company's premises and engaged security personnel on duty. One police officer was killed while repelling the attack, and a Chinese expatriate was abducted. Some of the attackers were also injured. Sir, coordinated commando-style attack.
This is clearly beyond the realm of banditry as we know it. Banditry is usually restricted to rural areas, major highways, where opportunistic assailants, pounce on unsuspecting other commuters or those that are working in the farms, catch them away from their schools, and they begin to demand for ransom. Now, this is a high tech, and like the police described it, a commando-style urban criminal gang that appears to be resurging again alongside banditry within the crime scene in Nigeria. I say this because, long before banditry became a thing in the northwest and was spreading to the south, we used to have urban kidnappers in Lagos, in Abia, in most parts of the southern part of this country, really. So we have seen a resurgence. It's like they are resurging once again. And this is why it's always important for the government to deploy strategic response, security response to each of this theater of crime and conflict. Because what works for banditry will not work for urban kidnapping gangs that storm places in commando style. Now, one of the major differences is this. A bandit group does not need information to actually attack any community. They simply go after vulnerable communities. So, for instance, they could do a surveillance around the community and discover that there's no police presence, there is no security presence there. So they just come in quickly and cut away abductees deep into the forest. I'm going to make phone calls. Now, but you see these ones that attack Ibadan, these ones come with information. They know their target, they've identified their target, they know exactly what they want from the target. So they stop in such premises. And then they cut away their targets and begin to demand ransom as well. Now, for me, we need to again readjust our national security strategy. It's important at this time to contain all of these menaces. You see, you need more guns in the hands of good guys than what you have in the hands of bad guys. For a long time, I've been advocating for a liberalization of arms possession by certain categories of Nigerians. But for a long time, that call went unheeded until recently, when the DSS reasoned along that line, and they decided to float the National Forest Guard or something like that. Now, but I think the Forest Guard initiative is inadequate. That can only take care of rural bandits, but those that are just pure bandits. But you see, these die-hard criminals, before they strike, they would have carried out thorough surveillance on the security capabilities around the environment that are coming to operate. So they usually come with overwhelming force because they know what is the usual deployment there. This is where we need to recalibrate our security response system. For me, at this point, while Forest Guard is necessary to contain banditry, and for me, Forest Guard men should be expanded, they should be given more equipment, and it should be across the entire country. We now need to take a second look at the role of civil security companies in Nigeria.
Okay.
You see, civil security companies in Nigeria have been reduced to just guards. They wear uniform, they hold bathings, they wear boots, they wear helmets, but they're just guards. They have nothing to protect anybody with. There's been this proposal on the table of the Minister for Interior to say, look, why not allow the civil defense, the arm, and probably with cooperation with the army, to screen some categories of licensed security companies in this country and see if some limited armament program can be allowed for these companies so they can complement what the regular and conventional security forces are doing. As I have said, in Africa here, countries like South Africa, Kenya, and some others have this system working for them. So what do I mean? To contain such urban menace, we may now need to have civil security companies that are licensed, that are also deployed to some of these facilities and building premises, to be armed with weapons that can at least repel such attacks until conventional forces come to the aid of the targeted victims.
Okay.
Because it should complement the effort of security in this country generally.
All right.
I have to protect urban areas, business premises, industries, companies, and even highways. So I think this provision now should be considered because this is a rising trend.
All right.
And if it combines with banditry, I think not where Nigeria will be by then. So we need to quickly be proactive enough to initiate security initiatives that can easily contain this.
Okay.
Because it's a rising phenomenon once again. After a period of lull, it is rising again.
Dr. Dahiru, thank you so much. Let's move over to Rivers State. Most of the papers have something on Rivers State. Rivers State has refused to stay out of the headlines, no matter who is governor. You know.
Yes. Rivers State of crisis.
Of crisis. Well, thank God it's no more Rivers State of blood, but this time it's of crisis, of dancing, of singing, and all that. Rivers crisis. I'm still governor, Fubara. I think it was yesterday or so at the Port Harcourt Polo Tournament, 2026. He said that the House of Assembly wrote him a love letter Yeah, but he's still on ground. He's still governor. What do you think of this? I mean, the current situation.
Okay, if you call our last position on this matter, the day they said they have settled, I told you that the matter has not settled. That you see, they cannot settle. The relationship between a godfather and a godson of this kind, governor and successor, is like an ego. Once it is cracked, it cannot patch up again. Because suspicion, mutual suspicion, truth columnists here and there, Kofi Bartels will all come in and make sure that there will never be resolution. Now, I have severally faulted Governor Wike for not knowing better or acting as though he doesn't know better, because he's an experienced person in Nigeria and should know that enterprise, that business, that venture of supporting a successor to power after your time as governor is a very risky, it's a highly risky enterprise that is capital intensive, but that has very low prospect of returns on investment. I mean, you should have known by now. There are plethora of cases in 1999 where this situation has happened over and over again, where most people that helped people to come to power lost out. It's a norm in our politics. I do not agree with him. We should know better that in Nigerian politics, agreement is not an agreement, because treachery is the order of the day in that their game. He knows me. He should know better. So when Fubara clearly showed that I cannot work with you, I mean, I do not want to be subservient to you. I respected Wike to take this as one of those investments that has gone wrong since 1999, and accept his fate and simply manage whatever it is going to get and allow the priest and the state to be. This has been my consistent position on this matter. But again, I need to also point out something. I need to point out the incompetence, the naivety, the timidity of Fubara, who has chosen to fight a lion like Wike, but he's continuously behaving like a sheep. And when the lion comes to devour him, he runs to the people that he's supposed to protect him for protection. If you know you're not ready to fight Wike, why did you start this war? If you know if you don't get your loins properly, why did you start this war? I'm amazed that after many months, Fubara has not gained one person into his camp from the other camp, including members of the assembly. Not one person has left Wike for him. It does not show a politician that is serious-minded enough. It does not show capacity on his part. As we speak, even though supporting him, are weary, they are tired. If you look at the tone now, they are on appeasement tone, they are begging, they are practically on their knees begging again. So for how long will you run to Mr. President to intervene between you and your former godfather if you are not willing to show capacity? Look at Kaduna, for instance.
All right.
Ubasani fell out with his godfather, but he has shown capacity to be able to fight and stand his ground. So it makes it easier for the presidency. Now, Fubara, you are a weakling, you are refusing to do the right thing for your own sake, for your own survivors. I'm amazed, given the enormous powers of governors, that this man is unable to stand his own ground. And as we speak, Pandef is running up and down to beg Wike. Mr. President is back, and I'm sure they find themselves again to Abuja to come with the president. For how long will people be coming to fight for you? What kind of a governor are you? What kind of a politician are you? If you're not ready and have the capability to fight this man, why did you start this fight? And now each time you throw the state under the bus, you throw the people of the state that support you under the bus, because each time you go into the villa, have agreements come out, and you're willing to implement such agreements. Right. It doesn't speak well of anybody. Okay. No matter how much you look at Wike, no matter how villainous Wike may appear, but it doesn't speak well of a man who goes into agreements with people all the time and is able to stand by such agreements, no matter how, whatever. If Fubara has honor, he should resign rather than enter such an agreement with them. He should resign. Now you have entered an agreement, you have refused to implement such an agreement, and we are the round 3 of this crisis again. This crisis has led to the demolition of the status of assembly in Rivers State. It led to a state of emergency, a politically motivated one. Now I don't know what this one will lead to again.
Okay.
I don't know what is impeachment.
Dr. Dahiru, let's quickly go to Kano. Very gory story over the weekend. Details emerged over the weekend. Of course, a mother and her 6 children, slaughtered. One of them thrown in a well. The ages range from 18, the first child, 17, second child, all the way to a toddler who is just over a year old. They were slaughtered. That toddler was thrown into a well, and the police have commenced investigation. They've arrested 3 persons, including the nephew of this mother, who they say are linked or are suspects in this gruesome murder. It's really a very, very sad story.
The bright side of this story is that for the first time in a long while, the police was able to make arrests within 48 hours of this crime, including somebody that was identified as the nephew to the slain woman. I say this because the pattern of this crime suggests to me to be a family love-related kind of crime. Maybe family disputes gone wrong, or love relationship or love affair gone sour. I don't know, something it has to do with something of this nature. Meaning, it's the fact that they have made arrest within 48 hours. It's quite commendable, because there's a bright prospect now that if the investigations are thoroughly done and these people are found culpable, they put on trial to bring justice to the family. Now, if crimes like this are punished instantly, immediately, it will serve as a deterrent for others who might want to be criminals who may want to do something similar. So this is the bright side of this story. However, no loss can be replaced, particularly when it involves loss of lives. It is gruesome. It's something I don't even want to think about. That's why I'm trying to console myself now. But the fact that the police in the state, within 48 hours, very impressive. Something that is very rare in Nigeria. Something that we see in America all the time. When CNN announces the killing of people, within 48 hours, the suspects are identified. This is so impressive. But I hope and pray that it doesn't end there, that they should prosecute these people, and if found guilty, and the judiciary should not sleep on this matter at all. They should please expedite the judicial process to bring them to justice. It will serve as a deterrent.
Okay.
To other people that might be intending to do something similar, to now know that once you do it to be caught, a lot of people will be safe in their homes because of it.
I wish you had time to talk about the New York Times article on the Mecca Omeagbalasi of intercity home.
I think it's a propaganda. It's a wicked, malicious propaganda. I think it's a wicked.
There's always a conversation waiting for you.
The oil company guys. Yes, sir. You can just round off in a few seconds.
It's a wicked, malicious, divisive piece of propaganda coming out of America. Probably this was one of the handiworks of the consultant that was paid $9 million to whitewash.
We gotta go.
This issue in Nigeria.
Doc, thank you so much for your time.
Something that should have been discouraged and should not have to happen at all.
Thank you so much for your time. Of course, Dr. Majeed Dahiru, very good to have had you today, and you ended on a very good note. It's all propaganda. Thank you, sir. We'll see you next week. Have a beautiful week ahead.
Thank you very much.
All right. Up next in the news at 8. Please stay with us.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.